Good morning. Okay, before we start our next assignment, which is our first assignment in Photoshop, wanted to show you a few things that are in Photoshop that might help you out with this next assignment. This next assignment, we're going to be working in layers. And even though Illustrator had layers, we didn't work with them too much, but I'm going to show you a little bit more about them in here. All right, so I brought in a photo of a background. Okay, our assignment in Photoshop is going to be um, making a postcard. And I believe it's at least, I gotta think, um, at least 5 layers. Okay, so you want to think, and it's for any place, it can be real or fictional. And so you're going to need a background, and then we're going to learn how to use the selection tools to kind of cut, copy, and paste to make one image. You will also need text on there of the place and some sort of catchy slogan to it. I'll put some examples in your folder as well, but here I'm just kind of show you some of these. So again, here is this kind of background. So we're going to start just kind of showing you a little bit of the text tools and what is a little bit different here in Photoshop. Now I just realized I can't find, there's a text way down there. Whoops, covered by all that. Okay, so in the text tool, if you kind of hover over it, you're going to see that this time you have a horizontal, a vertical type, and then these two mask tools. So the horizontal is your typical type. Your vertical is like an Illustrator where you can just type straight down a line. Okay, I am going to try this horizontal mask tool. And so when you select that one, kind of choose an area you're going to work with. So I'm going to choose this part. Notice it got kind of pinkish. That means that we are creating a mask over this layer. And for this, I like to choose a font that's a little chunkier. So I'm going to go with Impact here. And I'm going to go with the size that is going to show up quite well. Okay, and then you can just do whatever you are going to do on your type. Okay, I'm going to maybe go a little smaller here because that wasn't going to all fit. So I'm going to shrink that down a little bit. Continue there. Whoops. Let's go higher case like the rest. All right, so you can see that I have there. If you like what you type, like the look of it, you have to go up here to the right and do the check mark. If you didn't like it, you can just say, no, maybe I'm not going to do it. All right, so if I check this, you can see there's little dotted marching ants on here, all right? And so that means that area is selected. If I wanted to, I could go up and grab this mover tool and pull and move them somewhere else. Maybe you want to get rid of them completely. So it is, I believe, Command X. Oh, nope, Control X. So I thought something is not working right here. Okay, there it is. It's Control X. My computer just doesn't like to be in this mode and work. So you can see it pulls it out. Now, the other cool thing is, so you pulled it out of there. Let's say you had a blank sheet and this is actually your workspace. I could do the same thing, Control V though, paste, and there you can see I pasted them in here. And then I can go up here if I wanted to select the woods, and I'm hoping this is going to work better than yesterday's demo. And then do up here, we are looking for, I gotta look, it's a little different in the new version. Whoop. So I'm finding where, oh, here it is. Free transform, okay, is the one we want. But if you see, if I go down into transform, I can also make this bigger. I can flip it, rotate it, and do all that too. But I'm just going to use the free transform, which is also Control T. And now if I go in the corners, I can pull and stretch. If I hold the Shift key and then click on the corner and pull out, it's going to keep its proportions. If I don't hold the Shift key, okay, you're going to see that it can pull all different kind of ways in there too. So then you can decide, do you like that? Yep. So I'm going to do the check mark. Notice my little marching ants are still there, so I have to go select, deselect. If you don't, you cannot work with it anymore. It'll kind of hold up your steps because something is still selected. So always check or just go select, deselect just to make sure if things aren't working right. All right, so let's get back to our woods. All right, so we're going to work with a little more here. I am going to go and undo, which is Control Z, which I am tell you this in mode of editing or showing you filming, it doesn't like to do what it's supposed to do. Okay, so see now I did Control Z, or you can go Edit, Undo, or Step Backwards. Lets you do more steps. So that's under Edit. Mine is not showing up for whatever reason. But so Edit, Undo, or Edit, Step Backwards. Okay, and that can get you more tools here to work with. So now I got my marching ants there. I don't want it there anymore. So select, I can go deselect. So one other little thing that I want to show you with the text. So if we're going to just do like normal text up here, notice we don't have the same selections that you did last time. Okay, you have some different ones. I'm going to go a little smaller here. Font. When I clicked it, I can do a left justification. I can center it. I can rest justify. Notice up on that top thing, this is your options bar that lets you do all the changes to the font. So my kerning can be different. You can see up under there which tool you're on. I'm in regular 16. And then you can choose your color here. But over here is what I want to look at. I guess apparently we got to select an area. So let's say I selected on here. Now I can go to here. And right now you can see that it says style is none. If you click on that arrow, here's how you can get your wording to do some different things, okay? So you can see all the different options you have. And when you do that, so say if we're going to type on the arch, notice there's slide bars here that you can adjust. Okay, and it shows you while you're adjusting. So that's kind of a neat thing. So you can see what you're doing before you do it and get that just right, okay? So that is what I wanted to show you new with the font in here. Okay, so with this in Photoshop, like I said, we are going to be working on different layers. I am leaving my background layer as is. Notice it is locked. So that is going to limit you to what you can do with this. If you want to do some editing to that background layer, you will have to click to unlock it. Okay, now I'm going to go in here where it says create a new layer and bring one above, and I'm going to bring stuff over into this new layer so I make sure I don't ruin anything. So this way I can build up, and that's what's great about Photoshop. I could also go up here under layer and go new and get a new layer. Okay, so there's two places there where you can do it. I think there's a shortcut key too, by the way. That would be Shift Control N. I usually just go to the bottom or up here to get it. All right, so I already brought in a couple images to work with. So I am going to show you how I did that. We're going to get rid of this one and get rid of it. And so what I did is I made sure I saved some images in Google Drive. And then I'm going to go File, Open, and find your Google Drive. If you didn't put one in here, I think I put directions on how to add that. So make sure you do it. Open this, and it might take a few seconds. Mine already had up earlier, so it's there. And choose whichever file it is you want. Notice it's going to open it into a different layer. All right. So within this, now I want to cut the raccoon out and add him to my woods layer. The lasso tool, polygon, magnetic, all these will help us draw around and select the raccoon so I can bring it over into the other image. Okay, down below it, there's different tools here to use. Magic Wand, Quick Selection, and brand new is Object Selection. I'm just getting used to that one a little bit. But I just kind of want to show you how you can work with some of these a little bit. Now, the marquees up here are also selection tools, but these you can see are things more of a shape. If you're doing something more rectangular, well, you can just go here and select it and it's going to be a lot easier, or elliptical, or, you know, more of a single row. So there are those options up there too. But the raccoon obviously isn't an exact shape, so we're going to need to free do it. If you use the lasso tool, You find a point to start and you've got to draw around your raccoon or whatever it is you brought over. You got to kind of go slow. You need to make a complete path, okay? And this can be a little tricky with your finger going around and everything. If you don't get it all quite right, we can edit a little bit afterwards. Okay, so right now we're gonna at least get kind of the main shape here. So we gotta go a little slow to make sure I'm getting it. And I think I just cut off a toe. You need to make a complete, oh, I just went way over. I'll fix that later. So complete path. And then once you do, again, I get my marching ants. Now I clearly did a oops in some spots here. So I'm gonna come down here to my quick selection. And notice up here, there is the plus and minus. I need to do the minus because I goofed. So I can, oh, it's reversing it on me. Let's try the other. Okay, then see how I can push that back out. So anything else you might have done a little bit much, you can come back in here, okay, and select it. So you have plus and minuses. You can change the brush size. So if I need to go smaller around the foot and such, that's what I want to do. And then just click on a gray area to select again. So I'm going to back it up here a little bit before I did the plus, but we can also back it up to get that a little closer down here. All right, and so you can see you can select those things. Here I lost a toe, so I'm going to go back to my positive and push it back out. So now what I can do, if you can see, if I grab the grabber tool, I'm pulling this out. And so what I could do is go Control C, which would copy it. I'm going to click over to my woods layer. Okay, I'm on my brand new layer 1 and do Control V, which pastes it. Whoa, raccoon is huge, so we need to make it smaller. If I right away do Control T, that gives me that free transform. Now I can go to a corner, hold my Shift key, and shrink the raccoon down. Oh, he's getting a little distorted. Did not click right. All right. And bring that to what you think would be about the right size. If you like it, you click the check mark. If you don't, do the circle. Okay, so now the raccoon's there. Now, I didn't do a very good job of cleaning them up. So what I could do later is zoom in, which remember is Control plus. Okay, I'm going to use my little grabber bar here. Somehow my screen is way down today. So there it is. So if I zoom in, okay, I could come in and make little edits here. Oh, wrong way. Using the eraser. And I would make it smaller, but really zoom in, and I can come in here and get that even closer and better. If you can kind of see what's happening. I'm not going to get too picky here because that'll take a lot of time. But you can see how you can edit to really make things good. Now, if the coloring of this was really off and not as vibrant as the others, okay, we can go up to under, remember, image adjustments. We can do brightness, hue. Okay, you have all these different things you can work with. So since if I grab vibrance, notice the raccoon here when I start playing around with these. His browns show up a little more. Okay, so you can play around with these different tools, color saturation and such, and see if you like how it is. If you don't, you can put them back to 0. Okay, and continue on. So now if I zoom back out, okay, here's your image. He's a little big, that's good. So that is the same if we click on, I have another one brought up and I want to bring this lady in there. So now I'm going to show you a couple others. But before I move on to this one, the polygonal lasso tool is, you're going to do something that's very geometric because it goes in more straight line segments. The magnetic one will kind of cling to the edge. So it's also kind of a nice tool to use to select. We are going to switch though to these, and a quick selection tool. Okay, I can just go over here. I'm going to zoom in again a little bit because, oops, I hit the wrong key. Okay, and I am on the plus, okay, which is what I want. It's where I left off before. And I'm going to come in and notice how quick it's selecting her. Okay, now I missed a spot over there. So I'm going to bring it in. Missed a spot here. Now I remember I can change my brush size. We got a ponytail over there that missed. And up in her hair a little bit is missed. All right, so we can get that. If, like down by her foot, oops, I did it again. We oopsed a little bit there. Okay, trying to get it. Oops. So weird. All right, notice here I went too far. So I'm going to go to the minus and back it up. Okay, so notice that it's going to get in there again a little more. So you kind of have to go around your edges here to fine tune that. Up, I did too much. Switch, go back to the plus. I'm going to make this brush smaller because it just seems too big for this image. Okay, and then get back in there. So check around your whole thing before you select and work with it, okay? So to get this person then exactly how you want it selected. So remember, you can go back in and edit and choose it. So then I could do the same thing, control copy, and put her over into my other image. I'm going to go select, deselect, okay, and show you a couple others. Now, in the selection tool, the magic wand one is going to be good if you have a solid color background. You can just click on it, hit delete, get rid of it, and then you just have that person to kind of bring over. So that's a nice one when you have just a solid background. Object selection is new. Apparently, it is where I can get my person in frame. We're going to see how well it works. And you just select it around that object, let go, give it a few seconds, and it should gather in a little better. So it's still thinking right now. But notice then how it went around her and got her really good. Okay, now you can just go back into your regular selection tool and fine tune it a little bit. So again, I can do control copy or go, remember up here, edit, which copy, okay? And then I'm gonna go back over into my woods layer and do edit paste or control C, there's my paste. Okay, and now I have my woman in here too. Same thing. I need to get her sized better. So come in to my corner, click, hold the shift key, okay, the shift key is not working so good today. About what size, and then I can do the mover tool, place her wherever you want. If she's going in the wrong direction, I can flip by going image, okay? Sorry, edit, nowhere to go. Oops, sorry. Not my layer either. This, okay. Go in, where did my transform go? Anyways, through my transform, sorry, that was under edit, okay? And I could flip it and do the different things with it. All right, you can change the hue saturation if the coloring is definitely wrong and different. Okay, then you can do that. So notice that with the different layers, when I did the copy, it already put her on a different layer. So right now I'm already up to 3 layers. I did not put the name of my place. I did not put my slogan, and I certainly can add other things here as well. Maybe you want to try a shadow underneath. Okay, so those are things you can work with here and to make your postcard. So have fun with it and enjoy.